Yeah. Hey, so you're Miss Independent, right? Uh, you live by yourself. You breathe the oxygen that you created, right? You wear the shoes that you manufactured, yes? You wear the dress that you stitched, yes? You put your money in a bank that you own, right? You use a vehicle that you manufactured, Miss Independent, yes? What else do you do? You cook with gas cylinders that you did not manufacture, right? You are sitting on seats that you did not build, right? And you are applying oil on your body that you did not manufacture, right? Oh, I forgot. You're just independent of the man, right? Because you don't need a man, right? And the world revolves around you, okay? Yeah. And you're the axis that the world revolves around, yes? And okay, time sits there waiting for you, right? Yes, and you borrowed an ideology from feminism that is not serving you good. When we can see throughout the internet that there are people who are regretting because of those decisions, right? And you think that makes you cool and that makes you look so good, and makes you high value. Let me tell you, that's your own perception. And if indeed you are truly independent, you don't have to tell anyone about it. Uh, right? You don't have to tell anyone about it. And if indeed you consider yourself independent, why don't you just walk naked? Because you cannot call yourself independent of one thing, and yet everything else that is on your body that you are using in your house was created by someone else. You depend on the trees for oxygen. Why don't you just walk naked and close your nose and just die? Those are terms that were just meant there to create rebellion in the family union and all that. It's okay for you to choose to be single. It's okay for you to choose to stand on your own. Nobody is forcing it. But don't push it on people, because nobody cares about whether you are independent, whether you have six figures and all that. It's between you and your bank account. It's between your achievements are just between you and yourself. We don't care about it. The world does not care about it, because when you die, we will just go into that coffin and utakuwa chakula cha mchwa. But one thing you should realize, God created us for relationships. If you read Romans chapter 8, it talks about how the creation is awaiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Because when the sons of God are manifested, when they will take care of creation. They'll be able to redeem creation from its fallen state. If you read the book of, I believe it's First Corinthians or Second Corinthians, maybe chapter 7 there. I'll confirm that, or I'll clarify the scripture on the screen. Paul argues that man cannot say that he's independent of woman because he comes out of woman. The woman cannot say that I'm independent of man because she was created out of man. So God expected us to have relationships. God expected us to have dependency on each other, because in real life we are depending on each other. Even right now, for me to stand here and breathe, there has to be a tree somewhere that is releasing oxygen and taking my carbon dioxide. This body depends on somebody growing food somewhere so that I can buy it and eat and be able to be healthy. I depend on water that I've not drawn from a well myself. There are machines that were created by somebody else to draw the water for me to have it and drink it. So this issue of independence and whatever, women, I think you are screwing yourself. I know there's a lot of men who have broken your heart, and there's a lot of bitterness around it and all that. But can't you just forgive and forgive yourself, and you begin to build the right values? Have you ever heard of a statement that says you attract who you are? You attract your kind. Can you start building your value, build your internal value? And Peter talks about it. If you read the letters of Peter in First and Second Peter, he talks about he admonishes women and says that let not your beauty be just on outward adorning, but let it be on the inner person. And that's what most of the men, especially the good men, will look for that. And you see Solomon, who had a lot of women, in Proverbs 31:30 says that charm is deceiving and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. So put your value on the right things. There is no man out there who, or I'm yet to meet a man who said that I'm attracted to an independent, highly educated woman and whatever. No, most of the time is number one, the femininity. Then these other things, they become additionals. They just become additionals. But the modern day woman has chosen to focus on the additionals and forgotten the inner character, the inner person with the values with the values and the compositions that make her her, that make a woman a woman. Those are the things that matter. It's the same thing with us men. If our identity is not in the right place, we will find everything else to give us identity. So can we correct that? There's nothing like independent. That's a fallacy that was created and sold to the black woman to keep her away from marriage and to keep her away from relationships. Remember, marriage is not a must, but if it's in God's will for you, if you notice you have the desire for that, most probably it points to to a desire that God created in you, that you should be married. So stop fighting it and start putting yourself in the right place and start building yourself the right way to get and start trusting God. I'll encourage you with this scripture in Isaiah 34:16 that says, they shall look into the book of the law, and none shall lack her mate, because the Spirit of God has already gathered them. Here, the Spirit of God was not talking about creatures, because God is not busy trying to find a mate for a horse and whatever. He's talking about you human beings, and specifically you ladies. Spend your time in the book of the law. The book of the law is the book of the Lord. James tells us that those who, I believe it's chapter 3, that they that look at the word, it's like you're looking at a mirror. But don't look at it and forget yourself. But look at it and ask yourself, the Bible tells me not to harbor unforgiveness, because if I harbor unforgiveness, I will not be forgiven. Then you ask yourself, which areas that am I not working in forgiveness? Then you begin to deal with that area. And so applies to every other area, and that's how we end up becoming better. But this independence thing, this feminism thing and all that, man, it will leave so many casualties. But who am I to tell you what to do? Good day.